Well, hey folks, realize which are Midlands, my review New Japan Pro Wrestling's World Tag League Night 9 and 10 event. There are going to be polls up here for both of those. I'm going to give a mild thumbs up to Night 9, but a big thumbs up to Night 10. Night 10 had some pretty good shit to it, and I'll get to that here in just a bit. I do apologize for not having the Night 10 review up sooner. I was not able to watch it live, so I decided to watch both of these and just match them up into one review. So I should be able to catch the rest of the live shows just fine, but I just wasn't able to sleep all that good. That's why I had to skip the live tweeting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this mashed up review. I will also have a point total for each team at the end of this show. So here we go. Evil and Sonata versus Ayato Yoshida and Shota Umino. Ayato and Shota got in some good shots. They had a nice double submission spot at one point, but this is Evil and Sonata basically eating through them. I mean, no real shock there. Though the younger guys got in some good shots, it ended with Skull End on Shota, and that was a tap out, and Evil and Sonata get 2 more points. So yeah, it was a fine opener. It wasn't anything great, but it wasn't anything bad. Nagata and Nakanishi versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi. This was enjoyable. I was a little bit worried with how Nakanishi was moving in these last couple matches, but he did use some strength early. Taichi did end up taking Nagata outside. That was pretty cool. There was some arm focus on Nakanishi because Sabre Jr., the submission master that he is, must do that. Later, Nagata gets a hot tag, hits some good kicks, as you would expect with a man with the legendary status of Yuji Nagata. And there was a mic stand usage on Nakanishi while the ref was distracted. Sabre Jr. ends up making Nakanishi tap, and Suzuki-gun picks up 2 more points. So, you know, a couple fine opening matches for what they were, and then Beretta and Chucky T versus Tenzan and Kojima, and this was good wrestling to start out. Kojima had some really good teaming with Tenzan. Their reputations speak for themselves. Chucky T, they get the hot tag later after Beretta had been beat up for a bit. Beretta and Kojima did have a nice exchange later in the match, but in the end, Storm Zero pinned Kojima for the 1-2-3, and the best friends pick up 2 more points. So they're getting back on track after losing a couple straight matches. So yeah, we're off and running with some decent action and everything. And then Finley and Juice Robinson versus Minoru Suzuki and Iizuka. You get a lot of Iizuka antics. You get a jump before the bell. You got an airplane spin spot, easy for me to say, where Juice is just spinning Iizuka around. That was pretty funny. Earlier, there was action in the crowd, as you would expect with Suzuki-gun members, especially Minoru just not caring one bit and just swinging chairs at everybody. Thankfully, just the wrestlers and the Young Lions. There was a nice exchange in the ring between Finley and Suzuki thankfully lives to tell about it by taking on the King of Pro Wrestling. Finley does get the hot tag later after Juice had done the airplane spin spot. Really, that is difficult for me to say. I need to pick up better words. But in the end, you have the Gotch pile driver for the 1-2-3, and Suzuki and Iizuka pick up 2 more points. And then we get to Makabe and Hanare versus Michael Elgin and Jeff Cobb. This is strength for strength. I mean, I think Hanare might have been the weakest out of any of the guys in this match, and Hanare is still pretty damn strong. So that just gives you an idea of the competition. Hanare versus Cobb, that could be fun. That could be fun down the road, maybe sometime next year. Cobb is just flat out ridiculously strong. I just don't understand how somebody can be that strong. I mean, I saw the guy live. I met the guy. I mean, I know I've said that in other reviews. Really nice guy. Impressive to see live. I mean, it's just ridiculous how athletic he is. There was a nice suplex exchange where, you know, Elgin would hold him and then Cobb would tag him and then he'd take a hold of the guy and then, you know, that kind of stuff. And that was pretty funny. Makabe gets a hot tag. He attacks. And soon after, Hanare gets a tag. But Elgin ends up hitting the Elgin bomb on Hanare for the 1-2-3, and 2 points for Elgin and Cobb. And then we get Yujiro Takahashi and Hangman Page versus Tomohiro Ishii and Yano. Yano antics, there was action outside. This was fun. This was a fun match. Ishii versus Page could be a lot of fun, especially since Hangman Page has grown a whole lot just in 2018 alone, especially from his great performances in the G1, even in defeat. Page just does his usual divings, where now he dives outside, dives through the ropes, just dives everywhere. Hits a buckshot lariat at one point, but there was a low blow on Yujiro while the ref was distracted, and Yano pins him for the 1-2-3, so Ishii and Yano pick up 2 more points. And then Tama Tonga versus KES. Who could out-heel the other? That's pretty much what this match was. Who could out-heel the other? KES meets them in the entranceway, literally probably about 10 feet before, in front of the entranceway. And Giotto gets through the curtain, sees him, does the horn thing, and tells him, hey, they're right out here. And then they start brawling. They brawl outside for a few minutes, and they brawl all over. And again, who could out-dirty tactic the other? You get 2 outside the ring at one point, 2 inside the ring. Davey attacks Giotto, which I thought was pretty funny. And him and Archer both no-sold the Cade spots are just like, what the fuck? And it wasn't even like necessarily they were no-sold. I think they were just trying to prove that Giotto is kind of weak when it comes to that. But it was what it was. Archer at one point kept trying to shut the crowd up. Did that for a couple minutes. It was just pretty funny. But he was doing it mostly for comedy. Like, you could even see, even though he was doing it, he was trying to hide the smile on his face. But that was pretty funny. You had a ref bump. You did have a gun stun out of the pounce. That was pretty cool. And a gun stun then on Davey Boy Smith Jr. for the 1, 2, 3, and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa pick up the victory. So I'm going to say C+. This is probably the weakest show. And it's nothing bad. The matches were certainly enjoyable, but nothing particularly shocking happened with this one. So C+, and again, the poll is up there for night 9, and the poll is also up there for night 10. So now we move on to what's probably going to take up a good chunk of the review. But yeah, again, apologies for the late upload on this. I hope you guys do enjoy this double review. You had Michael Elgin and Jeff Cobb versus Ayato and Shota. It was good. It was good, speed versus strength. Ayato and Shota have certainly shined even in defeat. This was a better performance. They got more in than they got against Evil versus Evil and Sonata. Shota hit a drop kick to both guys at one point. Ayato got tagged, hit a big slam on Jeff Cobb. There was a nice double submission spot. The pace did pick up with some good near falls and stuff like that. You actually thought Ayato and Shota were going to get the victory at a couple points. They had some good drama with this. But an end, Tour of the Island, big wind-up slam by Jeff Cobb. Pins Ayato for the 1, 2, 3, and they gain 2 more points. Ayato and Shota are still winless. I really hope that they gain at least 1 or 2 wins. I predict that they'll win 2. It's starting to look like they're probably only going to win 1. They may not even win 1, but still, hopefully this is a good experience for them. I just think them winning 1 would just be kind of nice. It's just kind of nice, especially over a team that's almost at the finals, and that the Young Lions can beat them up, or guys that are just out of the Young Lions can beat them up. Or beat them, and then the heels can just beat them up and get some heat back and stuff like that. But it gives a nice rub to Ayato and Shota. But anyway, fine opening match. And then Juice and Finlay versus Nagata and Nakanishi. This is the one where Nakanishi was not moving so well, and I was a little bit worried. He did hit a dive later, but it was a little bit worrying because he just looked like he was having some problems. I just didn't quite understand it. It was what it was. But anyway, it was enjoyable. I mean, it certainly wasn't a bad match. You did have arm focus by Juice and Finlay on Nakanishi, as Nakanishi's arm is still bothering him from that previous match. There was a nice dive, like I said, a nice dive by Nakanishi, which I'm a little bit... Nagata moves a whole lot better than Nakanishi does. I'm a little bit worried about watching Naka wrestle. But anyway. You did have some nice exchanges. Nagata did get a hot tag at one point. But Pulp Friction on Nakanishi for the 1, 2, 3, and Finjuice gains 2 more points, which was pretty damn cool. And then we get to what was a pretty fun match, and I didn't expect it to be, KES versus Kojima and Tenzan. It was strength for strength. I think Tenzan might have been the weakest guy out of anybody in the match. Archer marked both moves by hitting the overhead chop, the Mongolian chop, on Tenzan, and then hitting the, continuous chops that Kojima does in the corner. And that was pretty cool. Kojima then comes back hitting some chops. Tenzan gets a hot tag. They hit a 3D. There was, of course, stuff outside and stuff like that, but this was fairly traditional. This is fairly traditional as far as being mostly kept in the ring. There was some good stuff to it, though. The thing that surprised me was the finish. Tenzan and Kojima winning wasn't what bothered me. It didn't bother me at all. But Tenzan pulls out a moonsault. Hits a moonsault. Tenzan's like 51, 52 years old, and I mean, I don't know if I've seen some matches with Tenzan, some older ones or whatever. Maybe I need to go back a lot further and see if he did moonsaults a lot when he was younger. Because some of that stuff blends together for me. But Tenzan hitting a moonsault at his age, impressive. 1, 2, 3, and then gained 2 points, beating KES. That was a bit shocking. In fact, that was really goddamn shocking. But it was good stuff. So far, Night 10 is way above Night 9. And it's not that Night 9 was bad. But then we get to the show where the show really picked up. Because you had Chucky T and Beretta versus Makabe and Hanare. Both teams use a numbers edge. Cutting off, double teaming and all that stuff. Chucky T started to show a little more of an edge, a little more of a frustration, even though him and Beretta had gained some victories. Maybe he was frustrated thinking that this was going to be an easy walk. Hanare did well, showed some great strength. And suddenly, Makabe's hitting his moves and this kind of stuff. There were some good exchanges, some good tag work and stuff like that. But suddenly it's in the crowd. And it's like a blink and you'll miss it thing. Because suddenly it's in the crowd. Chucky T's got Hanare in the crowd. And he's just hitting him with chairs and throwing chairs around and everything. And he throws like 5 chairs in the ring. He throws a table in the ring. And you're wondering, what the fuck is he doing? My God, does he feel disrespected by Hanare? Is he just frustrated? Did Chucky T just snap? I'm not sure what the deal is. I would certainly hope that Chucky T isn't being kicked out of New Japan because I think him and Beretta are a hell of a tag team. I'm not sure maybe if they just decided to, go for broke and have something interesting happen on the show, but like I said, he throws a table in the ring, he throws chairs in the ring, and then Beretta's trying to get him to stop, and Chucky T in the ring just waffles Hanare in the back with a chair, which causes a DQ. So 2 points to Makabe and Hanare. But the main story is Chucky T is just going absolutely batshit insane, beating the fucking hell out of him. My God, he's beating the hell out of him. You just couldn't fucking believe it. Just beating the hell out of him, beat the hell out of Makabe. He even punched Beretta out. And I'm interested. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm interested. It was very, very interesting. Chucky T looked very frustrated. I'm not sure where they're going with this, but you have me intrigued with this. I don't know if this was an isolated incident or what. I really hope this doesn't mean the end of Beretta and Chucky T as a team, because they're one hell of a tag team. I mean, I may not necessarily be a fan of some of Chuck Taylor's antics, or Chucky T, whatever you want to call him, but the guy is not that bad in the ring. He's actually pretty good. And him and Beretta really do have good in-ring chemistry. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But this was probably the most shocking thing that happened on the show. Maybe besides Tenzan's moonsault. But then you get Yujiro Takahashi and Hangman Page versus Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. It was a nice early exchange with Page and Tama. That was pretty cool, where they're just playing defense and stuff and trying to hit each other, just like trying to hit moves, like, Tama trying for a gunstone and work, Page trying for this. It was pretty cool. Yujiro does some dives. Jado gets involved, of course he does, with the cane. Page with a hot tag and a bunch of diving. The Gorillas take over. Yujiro gets tagged in a little bit later. But then he gets tagged with the cane. And then Magic Killer on Page, after Page had been tagged, sometime after, for the 1, 2, 3, and the Gorillas of Destiny get 2 more points. So that was a fun match. That was a bit of a cool down match from what we just had, because it was so shocking to see Chucky T just snap like that and basically go heel. But then we get Sabre Jr. and Taichi versus Suzuki and Iizuka. Way more fun than it had any right to be, especially considering Iizuka. I mean, Iizuka, I know at this point, is basically a comedy character and does what he does because, I guess, if somebody told me, forgive me if I forget who said it, but that he got hit in the head with a chair really, really hard, and that's why he acts the way he does. That's why he acts insane. Sabre Jr. versus Suzuki. I never knew I wanted this match until right now. Give me this fucking match at some point. I know they're both in Suzuki-gun, but my God, this would be absolutely wonderful. Give it to us in February. Give it to us at Sakura Genesis. Something. This has to happen at some point. This was fabulous. The fabulous submission exchanges, the strikes, this kind of stuff. It was teacher and student. And I'm not saying Suzuki has taught, like, Sabre Jr. everything he knows, but it's like, since, you got the leader of Suzuki-gun versus probably the best wrestler in Suzuki-gun besides Minoru, this was really goddamn good. This was really goddamn good, super enjoyable. And even Iizuka and Taichi getting involved wasn't that bad. There were some nice antics and everything. It was out in the crowd, in the bleachers at one point. At one point, Iizuka pulls out a fucking rear naked choke on Zack Sabre Jr., which was absolutely funny to see because he sunk it in just correctly. I mean, he actually is a good wrestler, even despite all the comedy stuff, but at his age, you wouldn't expect that they would have him pull out moves like that, and he did. And even had a chin lock on him, a sleeper hold. And this was really nice because the crowd was getting into it. They were getting into it, but Sabre Jr. ends up getting a bridging pin on Iizuka a bit later for the 1-2-3, and 2 points to Suzuki-gun over Suzuki-gun. It's Suzuki-gunception, but this was fine. And then everybody had fist bump thing to prove, hey, everything's still cool in Suzuki-gun. All that was pretty funny. And then Tomohiro Ishii and Yano versus Evil and Sonata. Much more fun than I expected it to be. I mean, I expected it to be a good match because you got 4 really talented wrestlers, even though Yano's mostly comedy. You got Ishii, you got Sonata, you got Evil, and you got Yano who can wrestle when he wants to. The Yano antics continued. He got locked in a Paradise Lock on the ropes and a Paradise Lock later on. There was a tumbleweed that, a variation of tumbleweed. Sonata did just rolling Yano around the ring and everything. That was pretty funny. Really nice, really just nice exchanges. Good tag team wrestling. Evil and Ishii in the stands. Give me that full-fledged feud. I would love to see that. Ishii and Evil later were just like chopping each other, hitting headbutts, all that. It was really fucking brutal to see some of that stuff. Wasn't as bad as seeing Shibata hit headbutts because of how he hit them, and I'm so glad that Shibata is okay after all that. I mean, he may never get back in the ring, but at least he's able to still be part of the company and train people. Sonata ends up dodging a ton of low blows by Yano, and then ends up hitting a bridging pin. Second bridging pin in a row to end a match for the 1-2-3, and Evil and Sonata get 2 more points. So yeah, that was the end of the World Tag League action, and we get a main event because it's a live show. It's not just the tag matches. We get Kushida, Tanahashi, and Okada teaming up for the very first time, or at least Tana and Okada. Or more, teaming up and like everybody's all happy, versus Jay White, Bad Luck Fale, and Taiji Ishimori. This is basically just a hype up Jay White and Okada and Ishimori and Kushida. And they can't really hype up Tanahashi and Omega very well because Omega's not there. And if Omega was there, it'd be very awkward, him being on that team. But anyway, it was cool. Okada attacks Jay before the bell. He makes his own entrance. Like I said, it's just basically Wrestle Kingdom hype. It was not bad at all. This was enjoyable. There were some nice skirmishes, some good exchanges. Jay White being a full-on dick heel. It was still surreal seeing Tanahashi and Okada team up, but it was what it was. There was outside action, Jay attacking Okada. It was a fun match. It was a fun main event. There was a bloody cross that ends up pinning Kushida for the 1-2-3. Could we possibly see Taiji Ishimori win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title? Very possibly. We'll see. But Jay then lays out Okada and Tanahashi afterwards with the Blade Runner, and yeah, there were some things that led to the finish of why Taiji Ishimori was able to pin Kushida, but it does set a nice little seed of doubt in there and everything as to could Ishimori win the title? Jay White then talks up about how this is Bullet Club, it's the Cutthroat era, you all breathe with Switchblade, and then we end our show. So now, I'm going to get to the point totals really quick, and then I'll wrap up this review. Evil and Sonata at 12 points. Cobb and Elgin at 8 points. Makabe and Hanare at 4 points. They get 2 points because of the DQ finish, even though they didn't look like winners. Tenzan and Kojima have 6 points. Beretta and Chucky T have 8. Ayato and Shota still with 0. Nagata and Nakanishi with 2. Suzuki and Iizuka with 6. Page and Yujiro with 6. Ishii and Yano with 10, Juice and Finley and KES with 8 respectively. Tamatonga, Tongaloa, Sabre Jr., and Taichi both with 10 points. So yeah, so far Evil and Sonata are in the driver's seat. I think, this is just a guess of mine, I think we're going to get Evil and Sonata versus Sabre Jr. and Taichi. I think that's what we're going to get for the finish. I hope that they don't end up doing a 3-way tie again. We don't need like what we had a power struggle with the junior heavyweight teams. But anyway, thank you for staying for this extended review. I hope you guys really enjoyed it as I covered both shows. Anyway, What do you think? And remember, polls have been up there for about the last 19 minutes. So let me know what you guys thought. I'm going to say a B plus for World Tag League Night 10 because of Chuck E. T stuff and other things. I really did enjoy this one. I was going to originally give it a B, and I'll give it a B plus just because of a couple shocking things. But anyway, that's what I have to say. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritland, and I will see you soon.